Blink.
In the headlines tonight,
Uganda, Victor Kiplangat.
long-distance runner Victor Kiplangat wins Uganda her first ever marathon gold at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham.
At the moment, we've been making them on order, and that's why we have very few.
Kira Motors Corporation innovators say their focus is the production of electric cars. Production of saloon cars will be considered later.
Give special attention now to the boys.
Archbishop of Uganda, Kazimba Mugalu, asks parents and guardians to equally expose boys and girls to knowledge and opportunities. While Uganda professional volleyball player Dawudi Okello takes us on a professional journey that made him settle in South Korea. A very good evening to you. I trust your weekend is going well. This is CTV PM Edition with me, Melissa Mboha, and Isaac Luchamuzi on Sign Language. In our top story tonight, long-distance runner Victor Kiplangat has won Uganda her first ever marathon gold at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom. Kiplangat ran the fastest time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 55 seconds to clinch gold in Birmingham on Saturday. Noah Walakira starts us off.
The Commonwealth Update, brought to you by Albabate.
Nervous, anxious moments. De Castella's won this title a couple of times. Ron Hill of England, some of the all-time greats.
With just a day into the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, Uganda's long-distance runner Victor Kiplangat has won the first gold medal in the men's marathon. This is surely a feat worth celebrating as Kiplangat wins Uganda her first ever marathon gold at the Commonwealth Games. Stephen Kiprotich won the 2012 London Olympics and 2013 World Championship titles, but no Ugandan had ever won a gold medal marathon at the Commonwealth Games. Kiplangat's victory now puts Uganda at 56 medals overall, with 17 of those being gold at the previous Commonwealth Games that attract countries that were once British colonies. This is the best placement for Uganda at this stage after Solomon Mutai clinched silver at the 2018 Games in Gold Coast. He won the World Mountain Running Championships in 2017, but that cannot be compared to Kiplangat's marathon title in Birmingham. Simbu from Tanzania, who came second, clocked 2 minutes, 12 seconds and 29 microseconds, and Michael Gitai was third as East Africa completed a medal sweep in the marathon. Story compiled by Kamuka Kenneth for CTV PM Edition.
The Commonwealth Update, brought to you by Albabate.
Congratulations to Kiplangat. Moving on, the hope for Ugandans to buy electric cars in the near future should be shelved after a revelation by key stakeholders at the Center of Innovation in Uganda that more years are needed to produce saloon cars. The product design manager of Kira Motors Corporation, Thatcher Nachimuli, says that they're currently concentrating on producing electric buses. Take a look.
Kayola EVS bus is one of the few electric buses that have plied Kampala roads. It is being charged at this point because it uses rechargeable batteries. Thatcher Nachimuli, a product design manager at Kirwa Motors Corporation, says it takes about 1 hour and a half for this kind of bus to charge fully. Fully charged batteries power the bus to cover 300 kilometers.
Usually we tend to charge it 80%, meaning that we discourage users from discharging it below 20%. So usually the bus will always maintain a minimum of 20% charge, and then you just need 1 hour to top it up to 100%.
Only 4 buses of this kind have been manufactured at the government-owned Kirwa Motors Corporation. Nachimul says for now, they manufacture buses on orders.
So we encourage people to order for the buses. At the moment, we've been making them on order, and that's why we have very few. But we've started receiving, as people have been seeing the 4 on the road, we've started receiving more orders, and before this year ends, you shall be seeing more electric buses on the road.
The engineers spend about 3 months to manufacture one bus. Buses of this nature are expected to solve the rampant fuel crisis in Uganda. The most prominent advocate for this innovation is President Museveni. The ongoing fuel crisis has pushed a litre of fuel to between shillings 6,000 to 7,000. Many motorists have been forced to park their vehicles because of the hostile fuel prices.
You can say, I don't need your bus to have security cameras. Maybe it's not for public transport, it's for private company. So all those costs, when you cut them out of the product, it reduces the cost of the product. And that is determined when you come and make an order and say, or I want a bus that instead of sitting 41 people, I want it to sit only 20. So the number of seats are reduced, and that also impacts the cost.
Nachimul says the process of manufacturing saloon cars is in initial stages, and it may take them a few years to produce them.
Doing a product development for the smaller passenger cars, and depending on how long it takes for us to get a product that can really meet the market demand in terms of cost and technology, we shall be able to communicate to the market when the products are ready.
An electric car or bus is said to run at a cost of Uganda shillings 360 per kilometer. This is 5 times cheaper compared to the diesel-powered buses. This is a 750 volts and 200 kilowatt power charging station for one of the Kayola EVS buses here in Kampala. This station can charge several buses that can be connected as long as the charging pipes are connected. Ramson Muhirwe, CTV PM Edition.
Thank you, Ramson. Moving on, a section of residents of Karusanda-Rasap County, Kasese District, are planning to boycott the forthcoming by-election in Busongora South if government issues land titles on the land they occupy. Voters in Busongora South go to polls on August 18th. On June 23rd, the Court of Appeal nullified the victory of Gideon Thembo Mujungu as the Busongora South Member of Parliament after a successful appeal that was lodged by his independent rival Mbaju Kathika. The details.
In 2021, the Electoral Commission declared Mujungu, who ran on the National Resistance Movement Party ticket, the winner of Busongora South parliamentary seat with 7,601 votes against 7,522 votes garnered by Katika. The 3-member panel of the Court of Appeal Justices led by Frederick Ntende on June 23rd concurred with Mbaju that there was sufficient evidence of ballot pre-taking, balloting staff, and multiple voting. However, on Thursday, when the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Judith Nabakova, visited the area, residents told her that they would not participate in the by-election if they are not given land titles.
Tulinze ekyapa nze nkulidde wano nzaliddwa wano naye buli mukulembeze abadde ajjako nga kujja tulimbalimba enkya ekyapa tugenda kujja nga muguma nga mumuwa akalulu kuba tulinga squatters here tuli anytime there batugoba ne tuvaawo waneno
kyatangaza munonga abataka kitwale bayisubi ekyapa nabwo ekyo ninshaba government mumanye ngu hatariho ekyapa tariho kalulu. No land, lease, no vote.
The residents settled on the land in the 60s and in 1994 a cabinet directed the Uganda Land Commission to issue titles for the residents. The land is occupied by 25,000 people. The 8,830 acres piece of land was carved out of Moboko prison farm. Faz Muhindi, the district chairperson, says most residents live on land that is owned by government.
But we have challenges of land. Much of the land in Kasese falls under government coffers. National parks, Queen Elizabeth Resort National Park in the mountains, Chivale National Park neighboring us, and the prisons are then Mubuku irrigation scheme. During the meeting, Nabakoba directed the Commission of Land registration to process a land title within a week.
Let us secure the title for this land, Karusandara sub-county. At least if the title is created under Uganda Land Commission, Kasese District, Karusandara sub-county, then the next phase will be coming on ground to sensitize the communities what is required. And once everybody is in agreement, then the better. Good enough, 127 people had applied to get titles on this piece of land.
The residents say that it is unfortunate for the government to address issues that affect them during political campaigns.
That the challenges they are going through of land.
PM Edition returns shortly with more stories after the break. Welcome back to CTV PM Edition with me, Melissa Mboha, and Isaac Luchamuzi on Sign Language. Moving on, the Archbishop of Uganda, Kazembe Mugalu, has encouraged parents and guardians to equally expose boys and girls to knowledge and opportunities at all levels. Kazembe was leading Christians who were raising money for the construction of St. Luke Church of Uganda, Chibuye. The details.
It is past 2 years since Dr. Kazembe Mugalu became the Archbishop of Church of Uganda. He has visited different areas as part of his pastoral work. While at St. Luke Church of Uganda, Chibuye, where Christians were raising funds for the construction of the church, Kazimba advises parents to treat their children equally without giving special attentions to either girls or boys in order to build a balanced future generation.
And empowered and sensitized to know the value of a woman. These are our mothers, these are our sisters. Then domestic violence will not stop. That's why I want to call upon all Ugandans, especially parents, to give special attention now to the boys in the training, in the sensitization, so that they will be able to take care of these girls. Because now, as we talk, the girl child has been elevated, which is very important, because these are but the boys are left behind.
Kazimba has also encouraged Ugandans to have hope despite challenging moments, especially at a time when prices of essential commodities are skyrocketing. He scoffed at men who are increasingly looking for wealthy women, commonly known as sugar mummies, without considering the associated problems with such relationships.
The boys these days who are turning into men and they are looking for marriage, whenever they are asked what kind of woman you would like to have, these are the answers. I'd like a woman who will take care of me, a woman who will be able to buy underwear for me. Really? Are you a man? We should be men. We should really train the boys to become men. Men are forsaking their responsibilities, even in homes.
The State Minister for Finance and Planning, Amos Lugolobi, encouraged politicians who subscribe to opposition parties to promote government programs, especially those that are aimed at poverty alleviation.
N'ababeera by'obufuzi babeera ne muki ne mu kanisa. Kakati n'olw'ensonga eyo bwe wabaawo partnership efaanagana bw'etyo nsobola nti eyinza okutuyamba.
Nti omusomesa oba wa science oba wa arts alina omugaso nnyo mu ggwanga.
Meanwhile, at All Saints Nakasero, the Vice Chairperson Kampala Archdiocese Bishop Hannington Mutebi encouraged parents and guardians to be keen on the type of company their children keep.
I know we are very smart in buying phones for them, these smartphones. And once we do that, remember that you are bringing the entire world before them. And there are things on those smartphones which you yourself you don't want to watch. And then you go out and buy this set and give it to your daughter or to your son. Do you know what they are watching? They are more, they know better than we do. Confirm and strengthen.
Mutebi was confirming more than 200 children into the Christian faith. Safi, Mokele Beluku and Chris, Semalemu Semakula for CTV, PM Edition.
Students from different institutions of learning have come up with innovations to solve community challenges. Among the new innovations is the digital irrigation system that will be used to increase food production in semi-arid areas. The details. Karamoja region and other semi-arid areas are always affected by long dry spells. Recently, there were reports that close to 900 people have died of hunger in Karamoja, while other areas in the cattle corridor are grappling with shortage of pasture and water for their livestock. To overcome the problem, students from different institutions have come up with an innovation of a digital irrigation system that would ensure that users can get water throughout the year.
It's going to solve the problem of food shortage due to famine caused by climate change due to the increased deforestation. So here we have a soil moisture sensor and a water pump, whereby this detects like the moisture levels in the soil. Let me show you how it works. So it's going to help in irrigation farming to be carried out in those dry areas.
Stephen Onen, one of the student innovators, says the system will help to boost the food production in semi-arid areas.
They're going to solve the problem of, first of all, like some people, they have to wait for the rainy season to farm. So this problem is going to help us, like to let's say, for someone to carry out agriculture throughout the year. someone can carry agriculture like year in, year out, like non-stop production, so that it can fight hunger like the way we have been hearing from Karamoja region.
Onen worked with other students to develop the system.
When the water is not there in the soil, the irrigation system just comes on automatically. When the water moisture is enough, the water goes off automatically.
According to Chiso Okorofo, the program manager for Sahara Foundation, they're building a new generation with new ideas and innovations to find solutions for the long-standing challenges.
You're giving them the foundations, but you need to keep nurturing them to achieve the kind of people they want. Just like these presenters right now. Now they have interests in different fields. They want to be engineers, they want to be computer scientists. So we keep being in touch with them, we keep giving them more support.
So the first phase, we taught them coding, introduced them to additive manufacturing, and then we introduce them now to the human-centered design, which is putting the humans that have that problem at the center of your design. So not just forming solutions for problems abstractly, but trying to empathize, trying to understand the problems that people in your environment are going through, and then creating a solution for it. And so
this program is aimed at finding and building talents of the young generation in Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, and other countries. Story by Chris Semakula for CTV PM Edition. A great innovation indeed. In our regional news, 8 years after they were abducted from their school dormitory, 3 of the Chibok girls have been rescued by the Nigerian army. They are part of the 276 schoolgirls kidnapped by the jihadist group Boko Haram in the northeastern town of Chibok, while a funeral organized for the victims of the anti-MONUSCO protests in the city of Butembo, northeastern DRC, turned into a dispute on Friday. Take a look.
At a press conference held by the Bono Regional Army, the now adult women could be seen along with their young children. The 3 girls were rescued by soldiers of the 21 Special Armored Brigade after operations that were created, enabling environment for girls to escape from their captors, according to YB Shaibu, the commander of the 7th Division of the Nigerian Army. Out of the 276 girls abducted in 2014, 57 have been able to escape and 80 have been freed in exchange of Boko Haram leaders. But according to the authorities, 100 are still missing. In captivity, many of these women were forced to convert into Islam and marry members of the jihadist group. Other schools or universities in Nigeria's north have been attacked by jihadists or criminal groups who have been carrying out mass kidnappings for ransom in the last decade. Crossing to Congo, protesters and authorities did not succeed to reach an agreement on the location of the burial, and some protesters took the coffins from the local morgue. 3 UN peacekeepers and 7 demonstrators were killed on Tuesday amid violent protests against UN's force in the region. According to the local press, Butembo's protesters gathered at the city's roundabout, where security forces used tear gas to disperse them. Democratic Republic of Congo's Ministry of Communication said according to an agreement with the UN, a progressive phased withdrawal of MONUSCO should take place by 2024. He says that UN have already left the eastern province of Tanganyika last June, and Butembo victims should be buried at the Kitatambo Cemetery on July 30th.
We return shortly with more news from the world of sports. Welcome back to CTV PM Edition with me, Melissa Mboha, and Isaac Lichamuzi on Sign Language. In the world of sports, we bring you the latest from Birmingham, where a reporter on ground, Clive Chazé, we talked to the gold medal winner, Victor Kiplangat, and has this story.
The Commonwealth Update, brought to you by Ababate.
Gold medalist and Commonwealth Games champion, Uganda, Victor Kiplangat.
Victor Kiplangat has become the first Ugandan to win gold in the marathon at the ongoing Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. On a chilly Saturday morning, the 22-year-old Kiplangat pounced to win the race in a time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and 55 seconds. This was ahead of compatriots Felix Simbu from Tanzania and Kenya's Michael Githai, who took silver and bronze respectively. This is Kiplangat's biggest success as an athlete yet and follows in the footsteps of 11 other Ugandans to win gold at the games that bring together 72 countries that were once British colonies. Running solo, Kiplangat broke away with 30 kilometers to go and was met by an excited crowd at the Victoria Square finish line, which is the heartbeat of England's second biggest city after London. Kiplangat says that the race would have been easy for him, but things changed along the way.
The race was very fine and I was very comfortable for today's race. But it was difficult for me when I was reaching 30 kilometers, I was feeling some fatigue in the leg, this right leg, but I try my best that today is my day.
With a beaming smile on his face while he crossed the finish line, Kiplangat says he still didn't believe he was winning.
When I see the finishing line, my mind was saying, I don't believe this. I saw that maybe someone has gone in front of me, and I was saying in my mind, if I reach the finishing speed, because there was some area I reached, 39, his right leg was paining me seriously.
Kiplangat and the Uganda Athletics Federation had to decide between the World Championships in Oregon and the Commonwealth Games. He says deciding to come to Birmingham ahead of Oregon was a wise move.
It has really worked for me because I was worried. I was saying they told me that you are going for Commonwealth. They told me to decide, are you going for World Championships or Commonwealth? But in my mind I think it is okay when I go to Commonwealth because it gives me some World Championships. So it was like harder for me because I was from Hamburg and I was having some problem in the leg. I fell down in Hamburg, so I felt let me accept what the federation has accepted to.
Kiplangat's gold was welcomed by a handful of Ugandans who rocked the streets of Birmingham with a Ugandan flag. After the race, many were seen asking for selfies. Others even begged for autographs. And they stayed around for another 1 hour and a half to witness his coronation as the king of the road race in Birmingham. Clive Chazé, CTV, PM Edition.
The Commonwealth Update, brought to you by Ababate.
Thank you, Clive, for that update. In this weekend's sports personality, we take you to the world of volleyball. We sat down with Uganda professional volleyball player Dawoodi Okello, who takes us through his football career so far.
김명관 백토스로 다우디 성공입니다.
Daudi Okello is truly an example that hard work and determination can break all barriers towards achieving a goal. The 26-year-old from Kalondo in Agago district is a professional volleyball player currently playing for South Korean side Suwon Kepco. Okello, who was raised both in Kampala and Gulu, says his volleyball journey was magic to himself, basing on the fact that he was only passionate about basketball.
My volleyball journey was a magic to me because I was a basketball player by then. So when I got an injury with the elbow, someone gave an elbow in the jaws. So that was bye-bye to basketball. I joined volleyball.
Okello first played volleyball in his secondary school in Laibi College. He later joined Chinawa High School, and this is where his volleyball skill was perfected. In that, St. Mary's Chitende convinced him to join them after assurances of developing his volleyball career besides education. He later attained a scholarship at Uganda Christian University, and this is where he caught the attention of National Volleyball League side KFVC in 2013, where he won the league with them the following year. He credits KFVC for taking him on at a young age and guiding him through the game of volleyball.
KFVC guided me so much in the professional life, in the volleyball life, because all they do, train, guide, they're patient with their teammates, they learn the basics, it's a family as well, they guide off-court and on-court.
From there, he joined Rwandan side Unique, where he realized that he could become a professional volleyball player. Okello managed to impress at the 2014 Africa Volleyball Championships with KFVC and caught the eye of various volleyball clubs outside East Africa. In 2016, he went to Bulgaria for trials where he impressed officials at Marek Union Ivkoni, who acquired his services. This is where he started his professional career in volleyball.
Via Rwanda to give me a ticket to Bulgaria. So the leagues are so different, very different leagues, but at least what we learned from Tunisia when we went for with KVCA guided me to last in all those leagues. So every league was a step. I learned a lot from Bulgaria, carried from what I learned from Bulgaria, added what I learned from Turkey, mixed from Turkey, took them to Korea.
Okello is currently playing in the Korean V-League where he has spent the last 4 years.
I played for first Skywalkers for 2 years, then left, joined Vikstrom, Kepco in Suwon. It's not so easy because that team is not, it wasn't a strong team before. When I was in the other teams, we used to wire them, beat them, and they were down below us. But surprisingly, this season, we became as a team, became strong. We finished third. They have never been for playoffs in the last 16 years.
Okello also turns out for the national side, the volleyball Cranes, and credits all those involved for helping the national side grow steadily.
Just the concluded African Championship in Rwanda opened eyes, opened my vision again. I had given up until I saw what came in last time, the camping 1 month. Normally we have been asking for this, let's camp 1 month and we train as a team. Because when someone goes, stays home, we know what he has done, the stress he has. So we are in camping in Nkomba for a month, and the results, we are number 5 in Africa, just in the concluded, for the national team. So it gives us, like, if we focus on this and we put more effort, we shall climb ladders.
He serves it to George. Smith goes for the back set.
With the 2022-2023 National Volleyball League in Uganda set to start next month, Okello is impressed with Orange Blockbusters, who won their maiden Serie A title last season.
I'm so happy with OBB as a team because they came from down, they're kind of stable, and they have the real vision of a team, stable team. I've been with them. For some time now. Their CEO is my good friend. I've been trying to help them out also in what they do in the professional life with the gym. Because in Uganda here, no team does gym as a team. But OBB, they are established now. They have a full gym for themselves. So I think they will change the team career and they'll produce more players, even professionally.
Okello concludes by giving advice to the young players that want to make it professionally in the game of volleyball.
Discipline. It's wide. To break it down, it's so wide. Yes, discipline from parents, on court, friends, self-discipline as well, you know. And hard work. Nothing comes easily on a silver plate. You have to sweat. You know, you have to feel the pain so that it will make you push yourself. You know, I went through this and I must achieve because nobody, you know. And second, when you're training yourself, don't train because Dawood is Ugandan. Somebody else is training in Serbia, in Russia. When I train myself, I put myself in international market.
Story compiled by Saika Yasin Sekalala for CTV PM edition.
잘 올라갔죠?
We have come to the end of tonight's edition. Thank you for staying tuned in and thank you for keeping it CTV. More interesting programs are lined up for you after this, which you can catch on our website. That's ctv.co.ug, as well as on Star Times, and that's on channel 248. Have yourselves a lovely weekend. From the entire team, we wish you a good night and be blessed.